Audi RS4 Avant review. Rabidly quick estate cars seem to stoke the imagination of us enthusiasts in a manner few other vehicle types can. There's something wonderfully improbable about genuine usability combined with performance that, out in the real world, would often do for more purpose-built machinery. Not many of us actually buy quick estate cars, of course, and in that sense, they're a bit like supercars. This is truer of the RS4 Avant than most. In fact, in the realm of online publishing, it's not unusual for Audi's mid-sized hammer-wagon to garner a similar level of attention to that you'd expect of, say, a new McLaren. Audi's formula has history on its side too. It began with the RS2 of 1994, developed with Porsche, fantastically quick and, for its time, fabulous to drive, and led to the curvaceous form of the V6-engined B5-generation RS4 of the millennium. Quattro GmbH, now known as Audi Sport, then gave us the V7 version, which graduated to naturally aspirated V8 power and boasted a chassis of such finesse that you'd think it would be wasted on an estate car, except it wasn't. The most recent RS4 was also the most conservative in its styling and a little away from regurgitating the dynamic prowess of its forebear, but was still a well-conceived machine. All of which nicely sets the scene for this new one. Aggressive, isn't it? By the numbers, the B9 generation RS4 is also a mighty thing. Fuel economy is improved by a fifth and CO2 emissions have fallen by a quarter. Shaving 80 kilograms from the curb weight, the first time a new RS4 has trimmed down, has also helped to take more than half a second from the 0 to 60 miles per hour time, and the twin-turbo V6 delivers almost half as much torque again as the engine it replaces. With 275 section tires at each corner, this new car puts down a vast amount of rubber, and yet rolling refinement will need to have improved. Being an RS4, its aesthetics are also tasked with generating a buzz befitting of a 60,000 pounds car, and yet mustn't attract the wrong kind of attention. So can it possibly fulfill all of these tasks and still reward the person behind the wheel when the moment arises? This new twin-turbo V6 engine is a 2.9-liter unit, shared with the RS5 and derived from the 3.0-liter TFSI found in more conservative Audis. As is now common, the turbochargers are positioned within the valley of its cylinders with the aim of reducing lag, but the more promising attribute for a traditionally nose-heavy beast is that this power plant weighs 31 kilograms less than before. It's a vastly more potent thing too, developing 443 pounds-foot from just 1,900 revolutions per minute. The car it replaces providing just 317 pounds-foot if you made the requisite 4 to 4,000 revolutions per minute. The drivetrain is more familiar, though. Audi might be experimenting with rear-wheel drive for the R8 supercar, but all-wheel drive has been a defining attribute of the RS4 Avant, and so it is with the latest model. During normal driving, the system distributes a fraction more power to the rear axle than the front, although should those front tires begin to slip, up to 70% can be sent through the rear sport differential. Likewise, this drivetrain can haul the car out of the slower bends by sending up to 85% of power to the front axle. Wheel articulation is catered for by 5-link suspension front and rear, and although the standard car rides on a passive setup, Audi's dynamic ride control, with its hydraulically interlinked dampers, is available as an option and was fitted to our test car. All in, the RS4 rides 7mm lower than the standard A4 Avant equipped with sports suspension, and the wheel arches are a chunky 30mm wider too. Other giveaways that this car has a trick or two up its sleeve are huge air intakes at the front and plenty of honeycomb grille. Audi, perhaps dubiously, says the car's details are inspired by the '90 Quattro GTO, the spectacularly magnificent sports car competitor of 1989. That car was turbocharged to dangerous levels.
Yeah.